everybody, welcome. I'm Zoe Alex, welcome. In this reading, we'll provide you it's the day of the week. And when's the day of the week? It is for February the 10th to the 15th of 2025. In this reading, I'm going to provide you is where everything is going to be all different, but it's the way of how it happens, how it's going to be very interesting. But the way of how it goes, we have to negotiate and do things in the way it is unexpected. Things will go into the right place at the right time at that moment. But, theoretically, that everything needs to be fine and dandy of how it goes. You need to understand what your weaknesses, your strengths, your abilities, and the right around perspective, even if you're telling the truth or even you're telling a lie, And you need to understand that because you have to believe that everything has to be all that true, and you think, okay, well, this is the way it goes, this is the way it happens. But then you need to believe in yourself and say, okay, well, I know what to do. But then you need to think about what's going on through that situation. You need to provide what you're going to do and think, okay, well, I got this, I know what to do. But then there is a time and place for everything. You have a time spent, you have the week, you have everything else. Where you're having a good day or a bad day. But everything can change, You have to know exactly how you can balance things, and you have to do exactly what you're told to do, right? That's the way it goes. I'm just like a tarot reader. I'm just going to tell you what's going on. But, that's the way it works because you have to think about what's going on in that situation and saying, okay, well, I know what to do. But then life will give you that opportunity and you will know exactly what's going to do because life is short, Life doesn't last longer, whether if you're young or old or, elderly, whatever it is. But things will change as it goes along, like the seasons are changing, the weeks are changing, the days are changing, the weather changes, whatever it is. You have to know exactly what you're going to do because the way of how it is, you have to do exactly, that's the way it happens, right? But I'm going to read you an oracle card first because this is the way it goes. It says, envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. That's the way it looks. So, you have the same, you're in the individual who maybe have the same challenges that you might have, but you don't know what kind of challenges you might be facing. So you have to understand about what's going on from that situation. So this is the way you have to provide what you're looking for because it's based on that. It's based on how you can do it and say, okay, well, I know what to do, but then you have to think about it. Think about what's going on in that situation and saying, alright, well, I know what to do, but then that's the way it goes, right? That's the way it happens. Because when you have the word envy, it gives you that situation, and you have to know exactly what's right, what's wrong, whatever, but you do what you can, because, life will give you unexpected. Miracles will happen, everything will change, whatever it is, and you know what it is, right? That's the way it happens. So you need to understand how you can do it, how you can process, how you can, modelize your feelings. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it happens. So try to remember what the word called envy of this week. Okay, that's the way it goes. Okay. Alright. So this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm just going to shuffle these cards because I'm going to say something that it will involve that situation, knowing that it is going to be very interesting on how it is, because you need to understand the way it works, right? So you have to believe on how it is, and you think, okay, well, this is how it is, and you think, okay, well, everything seems to be interesting. That's the way it seems to be, right? So you have to understand what's going on, right? So you have to think, okay, well, this is the way it happens, because you have to know from that way. So I'm going to look at, I don't usually do one card of it, but if I did, and if it's really interesting about that, you have to know exactly what you're going through in that stage of what you're going to be doing, so you have to think about the exact timing, the exact place, the exact moment, and when there are things that you must learn first, you have to know that from the how it is, right? So basically I'm going to, this is like for the whole entire week, but I'll do one card and then we're going to do more cards after that. Okay, so that's the way it looks. And for a start, it's the Nine of Cups that's upright because it represents romance. But let's see. So in this continual reading that I'm going to do for you is the word. The Knight of Cups does represent Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but it does represent romance. So you might be having romance during this week, because that's basically the fun fact about it. Because I'm going to call it as the Valentine's week. I'll say that because it is going to be getting close to Valentine's Day whether you guys are around the world, but the way how it goes, so that's the way it seems to be. But the way of how it is, you have to know how you can control it, how you can do that, right? So that's the way it seems to be. Now, I'm going to clarify that. I'm going to clear the middle of it. So let's see. So the Two of Cups is upright. So there is potential of relationships, friendships, whatever it is. It's a good start. But then it would be the Five of Wands reverse. There's no chaos. The Fool reverse. There's no change. The Six of Cups reverse. There's no past. The King of Swords reverse. There's no knowledge. But the Sun card reverse. There's negativity. Yeah. So you're in negativity. That's the way it happens. But between Two of Cups, it does represent Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So basically, you're trying to have a, I'm not going to say whimpering, no, but whether it could be withering it as that potential, where you're trying to do exactly what you're told to do, but then, well, I don't know what to do, right? That's the way it happens. But what's up to this Two of Cups here? The Moon is upright for miscommunications. The Knight of Swords is upright. There's drama. Knight of Swords here is there's drama. There's no trauma for the Knight of Swords. But then you have the Two of Swords is upright because you don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right. Like, you don't know. So you have to decide what you're looking for, and it's based on that. It's based on how you can do that. Because when you're in negativity, when you have things are not going for well, it's like, why would you do it? You're thinking that you're feeling like you're good, but you're feeling unwell, or you're feeling your relationships are turning against you. Where the Two of Swords is representing which path you're going to take, left or right. It all depends on you. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it seems to be, and you need to know that. Okay, well, I know what to do. I can face this. I can face this reality. I know what to do. And that's the way it is. But then, hear me out, where it could be that situation, and you think, okay, well, if it's going to be a Valentine's week, it is, right? Because that's the way it happens. But then you need to visualize yourself, have that criteria image, and saying, okay, well, I know what to do. And that's what it is. So you have to believe that everything will be fine. But then you need to understand that, right? That's the way it goes. There is a life lesson here, and you have to know exactly how you can do it. But then that's what it seems to be. So, during this stage here, I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the left side. Then I'm going to clarify the middle. I'm going to clarify the right, so you do not get confused. So the Fool is upright. There's change, right? Now earlier for this Fool reverse, there's no change. But then you need a Fool because you're going to change. The High Priestess is upright because you're going to be using your, your inner voice. You're going to use that. The War reverse, there's incomplete. The Chariot is upright. There's progress, and the Lovers reverse. There's no decisions. You're not making any decisions. Because you could be already having somebody that you already have, because you have the progress that you're looking for, inner voice that you're using, the chains that you're using, things that go into place. That's the way it looks, right? Now, in the middle, let's see, the A wands reverse, there's no speed. No, because there's slow speed or there's no speed at all. It's the way of how everything is. The Five of Swords reverse, there's no revenge, like there's no conflict. King of Cups is upright, there's support. Queen of Wands is upright, there's charisma. And the King of Pentacles is upright, because there could be a working person here. So it could be where you could be dealing with in a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, as the way it goes. So things will be in that perspective. You could be dealing with in a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You can deal with in a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. There are things that you must learn during this week. That's the way it goes. What's this Eight of Wands is? The Eight of Pentacles is upright. Yeah, so there's something more about your career. There's something, it could be entertainment, there could be whatever it is, but then it could be like another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So there are things that you must learn in order to shape up your own way and saying, okay, well, this is why it happens. This is the way it kind of goes. And you think, okay, well, I need to master this plan. I need to do exactly what I'm told to do, because, you have the right way and the wrong way. That's the way it kind of goes. But, overall, this is just a day of the week of the reading, right? This is the way it goes, right? So you have to understand about there's no rights or wrongs, vice versa. But that's the way it happens, where you need to believe that you can define the silver lining. Every silver lining is a relationship. That's what I said. But the way of how this goes, you have to do what you can, provide what you're looking for based on that, right? It'd be based on that reality, Now, I'm going to do it from the middle to the top, to the left, to the right. Now watch. Justice upright because you're telling the truth. Four of Pentacles reversed. Ace of Pentacles upright, there's a new beginning. Three of Pentacles upright because there's excitement. Seven of Pentacles upright because you're looking for your career. The Seven of Swords reversed, you're not feeling deceit. The Three of Swords reversed, there's no heartbreak. The Six of Pentacles reversed, you're not counting any kindness. You're just like, forget it. I don't want any kindness. Forget about it. I'm not going to act to be kindness. I'm going to be all mean and rude. That's the way it happens. But then you have that guarantee about, okay, well, this is the way I can define it. I can do it. I can do whatever I want to do. That's the way it goes. Now, on the right side, the Death card represents endings. Nine of Wands is upright, there's fear. Two Pentacles upright gives balancing. The Page of Cups reversed, there's no loyalty. No, you're not being loyal. But then the Magician's upright because there's a skill. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? So there are ways that you need to consider. Where if you're having a fear, I don't know why you're having fear for. That's the way it kind of goes. Because, there is a silver lining. And in that silver lining, during this week, where it happens on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there is going to be basically, like, there's going to be romance. There are things that you must learn first. You're telling the truth. You're having a responsibility from having that called about what's that word I was saying earlier? Envy. And that's the way it goes, because where you have envy, you're seeing about every single challenges from every relationship between one individual to another individual. There are things you must learn, right? That's the way it seems to be, where you need to figure out, saying, okay, well, I know what to do, but then does it make any sense? That's the way it goes, right? So there isn't a right and wrong, but there could be, a way of considering it. That's the way it happens. So I'm going to go from the bottom to the top, to the left, to the right. Now watch. So the Knight of Swords reversed, there's no drama. Now earlier you had drama, okay, on the right side earlier. Now you have no drama here. Now, put that in perspective, that now you have the ability that you're going to go from the top, work your way to the left. Here the Nine of Wands reverse, there's no fear. Here from reverse, there's no guidance. Ten Pentacles upright because you're looking for your career. You know, that's the way it goes, right? That's the way it seems to be, because now everything seems to be alright. Now what's on the right side? The Hangman is upright, there's restrictions. The Nine of Pentacles here is you're not basically having trust. The Nine of Pentacles is upright, there's comfortable, you know. And the Ten of Swords is upright because there's always these conclusions. So, you know, you could be dealing with another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So there are things that you must learn first in order to do that. You know, it's the way of how you can do that, because there is a way of knowing what to do, and when you do it, you have to do from the right perspective and the wrong perspective. You know, there is a good saying, is where when you have a right perspective, you're paying attention to it. When you have a wrong perspective, everything is not going your way, you know. So you have to pay attention about during this Valentine week, I'm going to call it. It's the way of how it goes, where you need to figure out, okay, well, I know what to do. I can do it. I can just, you know, do what I can, but then what's the issue? I need to provide what I'm looking for. I need to have that, you know, the ability from the right and wrong perspective. But pay attention to how you can do it from your own monologue or your own portfolio or whatever it is, because that's the way it seems to be. And you need to understand that, because life will give you lots of options. Life will give you, you know, lots of things, you know, miracles and stuff, and, you know, that's the way it goes, because there is a way of knowing what to do where you can face your own abilities. You have to face of letting go or whatever it is, right? You have to know what's happening in your own portfolio, your own album, your own way of knowing, okay, well, I know what to do about life, and I know what to do, and there is a way of saying, okay, well, I got this, I know how I can do it. But then when you hit the Nine of Wands that represents fear, then it's like, I can't do this anymore. I quit. Like, I can't do it, you know? And that's my expression, by the way. But you know what I'm saying, right? It's the way of how it goes, where you need to, you know, do what you can, you know, be who you are, because there is a way of trying to know from that ability, from having that perspective way, and saying, okay, well, I got this, I know what to do. And there is a way of knowing, but you need to understand what I'm saying, because, you know, from the middle to the left, middle to the right, things are different, you know. And when you have the ten of Swords upright, it does give you conclusions. Like, you have all these conclusions, and you don't know what to do. But then it's like, well, I know what to do it, I know how I can do it, but then I need some help, or I need guidance, or I need things to learn, or I need to focus on supporting whatever. Because when you're in a long-term relationship or a short-term relationship, whatever it is, you need to do something, you know. And that's why this is called a Valentine week. You know, it is. Because you're focusing on your partner, you're focusing on, you know, where things are at, you know, and this is it. This is not like a pity party. This is not the way it goes. But hear me out. This is the way it goes, where you need to figure out from how you can do it. You know, that's the way it seems to be. So you need to understand that, okay, well, I know what to do. I can do it. But this is the way it happens. So there are basically 3 more tarot packs I'm going to use in this reading for the day of the week, right? And this is the way it goes, because, you know, this is how it seems to be. And then we're going to end the reading like that, okay? But the way it goes, this is just the way of how I'm saying this, because that's the way it seems to be, okay? So in this very instant way, you're doing what you're told to do because you're thinking, okay, well, I know how I can do it. I know how I can think about it in the way of how this is, because this is the way it kind of happens. Because you think that, okay, everything's fine, and you think that you can do it. It's the way of how you can believe that you can do it. That's the way it happens, right? Because there is a way of knowing how you can do it, and you have to believe that you can do it in one way or another, because this is the way it seems to be. This is the way of how you can prove that you can do it, and then saying, alright, well, I got this, I know what to do, right? That's the way it seems to be. Because you have to focus on the ability from that perspective, and you have to know how you can do it, how you can prove me wrong, and say, alright, well, this is it, this is I need to do it, right? So you need to understand that the way of how I can see it, in my own point of view, this is the way it goes. So then we go from the middle to the left. So the moon reverse, there's no misrotations. The human reverse, there's no restrictions. The death cards upright, there's endings. Yes, there are endings coming out. The justice reverse, because you're not telling the truth. War reverse, there's incompletion. The star reverse, there's no inspiration. The Taurus upright, there's basically it means transformation. Everything is changing. That's the way it goes. Where you think, okay, why? The death card does represent Scorpio as a water sign. That's the way it goes, where you need to understand that. It's the way of how you can interpret your own ways and say, okay, well, I know what to do, but then you have to figure that out. What's on the right side? The High Priestess is upright. Yeah, because you're going to use your inner voice. Magician reverse, there's no skill. The Hierophant is upright because you're looking for guidance. The Emperor reverse because you have no structure. Nope, you don't. The Fortune reverse because you're having bad luck. Yeah, because you're having bad luck because everything is not going your way. But you need to focus on that. You need to focus on how you can do it, how you can do what you can, saying, well, I need to do what I need to do, but then it's like, okay, well, this is how it seems to be. What's in the middle here? The moon is upright. So there's misrotations here, followed by the Wheel of Fortune reverse. So you're having both in bad lucks. Okay? These two here. They're both bad lucks because you're having bad luck. There's a way of trying to know that, but then, that's the way it happens. So what's happening between this bad luck over here by the 10 of Swords here? The Tower is upright and the High Priestess is upright. Yeah. It means that the High Priestess represents your inner voice. You're using your inner voice. That's the way it goes. The Tower is upright because there's transformation. Everything is changing. That's the way it looks. What's this other Wheel of Fortune here? The Hermit is upright. There's solitude. The Death card represents endings. Yeah, it does represent Scorpio again. The Hermit represents solitude, but it does represent looking for a soulmate. But the way of how this is, it's the way of how everything is going to go in that perspective way. Everything is going to be, okay, well, I know what to do, but then it's like, you have to know from which direction you're going to take, left or right, and you need to understand that. Because from that ability, you have to know exactly, okay, well, this is the way it needs to be. This is the way of having straightforward, and this is the way it happens. So what's up with this the Hermit card? The Chariot is upright, there's progress, followed by the Magician reverse, there's no skill. But the Judgment is upright because you're being judged for it, but you're taking action. That's the way it goes. It's the way of how it seems to be, because you need to understand that, right? What's up with this Judgment card? The Lovers is upright, yeah, because you're gonna make a decisions. You're gonna have all these decisions because the way of how it looks, right? So you're being in love, or you're gonna change it, the way how it is, right? That's how this reading does make sense. In order to do that, in order to, improvise that experience. This is not like conspiracy theory. It's not. But the way of how this is, you need to prove it to have unexpected miracles to happen. In every relationship. That's how it goes. Because you have to figure it out, right? Versus love versus the devil is upright. Yeah, so there is obsession. That's the way it goes. Or violence, violation. You could deal with another Capricorn. So, as an earth sign. So there are things that you need to understand. That things will go in that perspective way. And think, okay, well, I know what to do. But then it's the way it happens. But at the bottom of this deck here, the Magician reverse because you have no skill. You don't have no skill. The Tower reverse, there's no transformation. No, everything is not changing. But earlier it will. Two Wands is upright because you're going to plan on something. That's the way it looks. So you could do another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The Ace of Wands is upright because there are new beginnings here. That's the way it goes, right? And the Ace of Cups reverse, you're not falling in love, but that's the way it goes. But then the Empress is upright because you want to have nourishment. And basically you want to tell the truth as this Justice card. That's the way it looks, But you have to figure out that you have that criteria from the right and wrong perspective, but then you know what it takes, right? That's the way it looks, right? That's the way it happens. So, I guarantee you that this is just the way it seemed to be. Now, I'm going to do one more of this. So I'm going to see what the universe is saying. So I'm going to go from the bottom to the top to the left, and then from the top to the right. Now let's see. Two Wands is upright, so there's planning. I just said that, right? So you have planning, right? You're going to plan on something. That's the way it goes, right? Now, you have the Ten Pentacles reversed. There's no wealth. No, you're not. So when you have no wealth, it's like, well, this is not going to be good. No, it's not. But you need to understand that. You need to improvise your own decisions of what's happening, right? The Temperance reverse, there's no healing. The Judgment is upright, you're going to take action. The Three of Swords reverse, there's no heartbreak. The Five of Swords reverse, there's no revenge. The Seven of Swords reverse, there's no deceit. But then the Queen of Wands, there's charisma. Yeah, that's the way it looks, right? That's the way of how it is, because you need to understand that, right? So you can do it in the Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. On the right side, let's see. Tower reverse, there's no transformation. Nine of Cups reverse, there's no fulfillment. Hermit card is solitude. The Knight of Cups reverse, there's no romance. The Fool is upright, there's change. The World is upright, there's completion. Yeah, everything is. But then the Hermit represents you're looking for a soulmate. The Fool is upright because you want to change. That's the way it goes. What's between this Ten of Pentacles here? There's no wealth, so... Oh yeah. The Four of Wands is upright, there's celebration. Queen of Cups here, there's no empathy. Nine of Pentacles, there's no trust. No, because you're lying about that. You're lying that, oh, I don't have no money or whatever. I'm going to use you or whatever it is. Relationships do not like that. It's the way of how you can do that, right? It's manipulative, right? It's not good, right? So let's see what the universe is saying between the Queen of Cups reversed for empathy and the Knight of Pentacles reversed for no trust. So let me look at the empathy. What's the 3 card reading for that? So the 6 of Pentacles reversed, there's no kindness. No, you're not being kind. You're being rude, mean, disrespectful. 2 of Swords reversed, the 10 of Swords reversed, there's no conclusions. But the Queen of Swords reversed, there's no independence. No, you're not having independence. But then the Lovers is upright, there's decisions. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? So that's the way it happens. What's this between this Knight of Pentacles? Moon's up right there, it's missed rotations. Followed by the Seven of Wands reversed, there's no silence. The Sun reversed, there's negativity. Yep. Four of Swords is upright because there is recuperation. Yes, because because you're going to recuperate. You know, that's the way it goes. That's the way of how it acts. You know, the abilities from that. What's happened between these Four of Swords here? The Four of Cups reversed, there's no distraction. The Death card reversed, there's no endings. But the King of Wands is upright, there's passion. Okay. What's between this Lovers card? The Eight of Pentacles reversed, there's no perfection. The Hangman reversed, there's no stillness, like no restrictions. The High Priestess reversed, there's no inner voice. Nope. The Six of Swords reversed, there's no movement. Five Pentacles is upright, there's insecurity. Yeah, because you're feeling insecurity because you have no money. You know, that's the way it kind of looks. It's a bad feeling. It's a bad concept. What's also between this King of Wands here? The Chariot is upright because you have progress. Yep, that's very interesting. Okay. Anything about it? King of Swords upright, there's knowledge. Nine of Pentacles reversed, there's no comfort. Exactly. Nine of Wands reversed, there's no fear. The Devil reversed, there's no obsession. Eight of Swords reversed, there's no anxiety. But the Ace of Cups is upright, so you're having satisfaction. You're having satisfaction because you have no money. Are you stupid? No, I'm not gonna say that. But you know what I mean, right? This is the way it goes, or this is how you can do that. I'm not making this up. This is like a very interesting reading for a day of the week of this Valentine week. That's the way it goes. What's between these Five Pentacles here? The Three of Wands is already there's communication. 10 of Wands is already there's burdens. Page of Wands reversed, there's no invention. But 10 of Cups is already there's completion. So you have the completion on the right side. You have completion on the left side, because you're having satisfaction and knowledge and communication, and you have no money. That doesn't make any sense. You're not being any kind. Like, this is just incredible. What's between this completion for the Ten of Cups that represents Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio? Ten Pentacles reversed, there's no vision. Ace of Swords reversed, there's misunderstanding. It is a misunderstanding here, because the Magician's upright gives you have skill. Yeah, you do. There's maybe like some kind of trickery, maybe some kind of, you know, the wrong of it. Opposite. Three Pentacles reversed, there's no excitement, but the Wheel of Fortune's upright because you're having good luck. Yeah, you're gonna have good luck on the left side. You know, it could happen on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It could happen on those days. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, between this World card on the right side, I'm going to clarify that. So let's see. The Swords upright, there's inspiration. And the Knight of Swords upright, there's drama. Yeah, there is drama, because that could happen on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday during this week. So you have to believe that there are things that you must learn first in order to do that. It's the way of how it happens, because, you know, in society you need to learn what's going on, and you think that, okay, well, I know what to do, but then it's troubling. It's the way of how it looks. So you have to pay attention to it. You have to pay attention on what's going on in that theoretical experience, because you need to understand what's going on from the right and wrong. You know, that's the way it goes, right? Because during this way of knowing what to do, you have to face that priorities. You have to get that into perspective and say, well, this is the way it looks. This is the way it seems to be. This is the way it happens. So you need to understand that when things go into the way, you have to think, okay, well, I know what to do. I can do it. I know how you can face that reality, and that's how it is. right? Because when you have the word that's called envy, look at it. Because it does, like, everybody has challenges. And when they do, right? So you have to figure this out during this whole entire week, right? It has to make sense. You have to go with the flow. Go to have control. Go inspiration about having, wish upon a star, have miracles to happen. But there are things that you must learn first. In order to get something, you have to give something. You ask and you shall receive. That's the way it goes, right? Because you have to give, and then you have to receive something back. That's the way it happens. But you have to know from that experience where, okay, I know what to do, I can do it, I know how it seems to be, and that's the way it goes. Because in theory, you have to know what's happening in that perspective. That's the way it goes. So, before I let you go, pay attention about what's happening. Pay attention about what's going on in that perspective. And that's the way it seems to be, because that's the way it goes. That's the way it happens. And you need to do exactly what's going on. So do the right thing and pay attention. That's all you can do for a turn this week. But thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all. And understand that it is the way it goes. But thank you so much. Bye for now. Really. Bye.